All right, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahawashi, and Barakatha Yahweh, and Barakatha Yahawashi. Call Halayim La Yahweh Bahashim, Yahawashi Bahashim Chakadash. Double honors, much love and respect to those and apostles that rule well over all the Yasharala. We know where they be. Peace and blessings to you, Akim, laboring in this ministry in truth and sincerity with much love and faith, as well as to you, Akwafi, my children at Yasharala, following the spirit and guidance of Yahweh Yahawashi. So today, it's actually kind of took me out of what I was initially intending to do, but it was through the spirit that I came across this video. It only got published about an hour ago, not even a week ago, about an hour ago, and I am completely unsurprised and unfazed by the things that I just heard in this one particular video. As you can see, let's see. The satanic tragedy. That's hilarious. I didn't even see that comment. Okay, the U.S. kits are unprecedented vaccine campaign. Now, if you watch this video, there are, if you're paying attention to scriptures, if you're paying attention to prophecies, if you are very in tune with Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai Bashim, Chakwadash, and I'm talking to you Israelites, you Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, and the scattered of our people that are amongst these other heathen nations, whether you look like our original form or not, because when you understand the scriptures, the Most High already said that our people was going to be scattered after we go back onto Egypt by way of ships. And our people have been scattered. The seed of Israel has been scattered amongst all the nations around the whole entire planet. Now, this whole or vaccine campaign, if you will, because I don't really go into the whole. I don't go into these topics as often as other brothers, but this one just caught me in the spirit. So I'm gonna play. I might just play the whole thing because this video right here actually gets to show you what direction that we're going into as far as 2021 is concerned. I have great. I have great clarity about some of the things that are about to unfold. And this video particularly, like I said, this only came out an hour ago. It's December 15th. It's December 15th, 2020. And this video only came out an hour ago, and this only clarifies a lot of things that I was looking into as far as 2021 is concerned, which is, well, in all technicality, around the corner. So I'm gonna play parts of this video, and I'm gonna stop and I'm gonna make interjections, and I'm gonna comment a little bit about some of the things that's in this video per se. All rights and all that other stuff is credited to RT America, whatever, however it needs to be displayed, and credit needs to be contributed to.
According to the World Health Organization, currently there are more than 50 COVID-19 vaccine candidates in trial. Several have already been approved and are being rolled out across the world. Let's take a look at how some of the top vaccines are being distributed. Last week, the UK began administering the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine. Canada also approved it last week. And on Monday, the US started administering the vaccine, paving way for widespread inoculation. 598 million doses have already been ordered by the European Union, Japan, the US, Mexico, and Canada, in addition to a few other countries. The AstraZeneca Oxford vaccine is still in phase 3 clinical trials, but there are still many unanswered questions. Trials took place in Brazil, South Africa, and the United States. And in a surprising twist, last week, AstraZeneca announced its collaborating with the same Russian officials who created the Sputnik V vaccine. More than 2,913 million doses have been ordered. India, the EU, the US, China, and Japan have all ordered more than 100 million doses each. And speaking of the Sputnik V, made by the Gamaleya Center, Russia began mass vaccinations on high-risk workers just over 2 weeks ago. Russia negotiated agreements to supply the vaccine to countries including India, Brazil, Mexico, Argentina, and Venezuela. Now let's take a look at the Moderna vaccine and where it stands. It has not yet been approved. The FDA is expected to meet on Thursday to evaluate Moderna's application for an emergency use approval. Well, several countries have already ordered around 411 million doses, including the United States, European Union, Canada, the UK, and Japan. Let's take a look at the state-owned Chinese company Sinopharm. The UAE health authorities did cite an 86% efficacy rate. China's government granted approval for the vaccine last summer, and by November, nearly 1 million people had already received it. In September, the UAE gave emergency approval use for healthcare workers. Bahrain also approved the vaccine back in December. Now, the UAE, Pakistan, Indonesia, and a few Middle Eastern countries have ordered 223 million doses. For more, let's bring in RT correspondent John Huddy, who's following the rollout here in the United States. John, what can you tell us?
Now, mind you, if I was to take the captions off Salah, COVID-19, or, well, shit, so all of this, well, dang, they switched it up because at first the captions actually read a global, basically stating that it's a global movement. So this whole epidemic has really shifted the way of the world as we speak right now. So if you are continually, or if you are in a position where you are continuously having hope of some type of normality, as far as going into 2021, you are not going to make it. You are not going to be able to, and I even say it to so-called Christians, because you ought to know better as far as the things that is written in prophecy, you know. And a lot of our people are so-called Christians, but they aren't of the way that our Lord Yahawashi actually proclaims. Now, reason why I say that is because a lot of, like I said, our people, a lot of so-called Christians are hoping and praying hoping and praying that this will blow over. I mean, it's gonna blow over when the Lord allows the four angels to let go of the four winds that they're holding back in order to seal up the elect. Now, when you continue to hear this, now mind you, now this is starting to get more at heart to the point of the matter, because a lot of our people, predominantly from the Southern Kingdom, in the Salah, predominantly from the Southern Kingdom, and a good chunk of our people from the Northern Kingdom are here in the U.S. You know, here in the U.S., Canada, and South America. And what this Edomite is about to start saying, and the things that they start reporting. When I first heard this, it actually literally moments ago before I started this lesson, I was not surprised. I was not shocked. But it only just showed how much more detrimental this whole event is towards our people. But let me go ahead and play it.
Well, first of all, an ICU nurse at a hospital in Queens, New York, was the first to receive this vaccination as part of the rollout. One of the many frontline workers who are supposed to get the vaccination, or as Governor Andrew Cuomo of New York said, the weapon that will ultimately end the war.
Question is, what war you talking about? And then look at him, this is like, like, oh my God, bro, he is not asleep. Now, when I first heard this, immediately through the spirit, I was like, okay, this has to be, if you're talking about a nurse from New York, Queens, evidently it's going to be some woman of the tribe. And then on top of that, when he gets to talking about the type of hospital or that she works that she's working with, this actually further conveyed how deeper this whole situation is, because if you don't really get to the root of the problem, you're not going to be able to see through all the bullshit. You're only going to be able to have a perception so far. Hey, let the church say amen. Hey, that's the spirit. um so this is the time, the year 2020, no matter how you want to however you want to phrase it, if you was to look at it from a spiritual standpoint, this ought to be a year of clarity for you to be able to actually see behind the scenes. Fortunately, a lot of us prophets that are actually on the scenes, that's understanding the times and the things divided in the times, we're actually allotted to be able to see past a lot of the bullshit. Out of our Ratazah, we see further and clearer, because that's what's going to help us stand boldly. This is a new age. This is the new era. 2020 brought in a very new era, and there are a lot of people that's actually a lot of actually high respected amongst the world individuals that are actually starting to proclaim that this is a new era. People that think that that shit is about to go back. Salah for my rudeness. But people that perceives that everything is gonna go back after, even if you get the mandated vaccine, or however YouTube's algorithm will allow you to say it. Well, it's actually right there in front of your face. You know what I'm trying to say? Vaccinations. If you perceive that things are about to go back to a normal way of life, you're very misconstrued. Actually, you don't even understand how the world works. If that's the case, the world revolves around changes. Everything that any period of time in history, there has always been a continuous of change. Nothing is never nothing is never the same, but everything is not is new under the sun. Oh man, hold on. Hey, we gonna go too deep. Nah, let's not go too deep. But anyways, let me just go ahead.
Though that may not be anytime soon, because there's concerns that the U.S. simply does not have enough for the rest of the country immediately, as is necessary, including some of the most high risks group of people.
Yep, there we go. There you go. Now look, that's some trade. That is so traitorous. You're gonna have you're gonna have your own kinsman give you the same thing that's gonna destroy our people, and you got East, and you have a E next to her clapping, and she probably feels good about herself until that first dosage starts to wear and tear on her body. However, the Most High, Yahweh Bashem, Yahawashi Bashem, Chakadash, allows these things to unfold. This is actually pretty sad. I may be able to giggle and smirk and make certain slight jests and comments, but this is actually quite saddening to the spirit, because our people ought to know better. We're in the time of information. We're in the age of information. There's no excuse for you to be slow enough to actually accept these things. Our people ought to be stronger than that. But let this video be a executive example to what's to come, because they're only using our women to slowly but surely indoctrinate the rest of our people. Once and of course it had to be a Southern Kingdom woman. Of course it had, and I don't know, she could be Levi, she could be so-called Haitian, she could be Benjamin, so-called West Indian, Jamaican, or Trinidadian, or she more than likely could be so-called, or she could be a Judite, so-called Negro. She looks like she has the characteristics and the features of a Negro, but hey, nonetheless, is she has the depiction of tribe. Now, this is bad. This is really bad. And anybody that watches this video, mind you, like I said, this just came out today, about an hour ago, not a week ago, about an hour ago. And this is what our people is going to have to start seeing more consistently, because now that and they just said it. They just said it. This woman, this so-called Negro woman, was the first one to get the vaccine in the U.S. Wow, what kind of political stance is that for? And it's psychology, but we ain't about to get into all that because it can get deeper.
And with
She
that,
clapped
Sandra
it
Lindsay
sadly.
made history as the first person in the United States to receive the COVID-19 vaccination as part of America's mass
The first so-called black woman. So the first so-called black woman. She almost looked like Michelle Obama. It looked like Michelle Obama was the first one to get the vaccine. That's funny. All right, let me go.
vaccination effort. Lindsay is an ICU nurse at the
Terrible.
Long Island Jewish Medical Center in Queens. President
Right. Yep. And that was the other part. I'm gonna bring that back. Salah. I know I'm talking a little bit, but this is all relevant to the
vaccination as part of America's mass vaccination effort. Lindsay is an ICU nurse at the Long Island Jewish Medical Center in
Long Island Jewish Medical Center in Queens. That in itself is very, very. Now, I'm not going to jump into why, because I don't have the time and I don't feel like going through the hassle of why. Even that statement itself was even clearer of why it had to be set up this particular way. Like, why couldn't it have been why couldn't it have been a good, strong American, so-called white man, that strong so-called the good Joe citizen of America? Why couldn't it have been one of them? Why couldn't it have been somebody from Duck Dynasty? Why couldn't it have been damn, some beautiful lily white woman? No, it had to be a so-called black woman. And now she gets this attention, which is automatically going to direct our people into the Broadway. This is terrible. This is ridiculous. This is actually very fucking upsetting. But hey, let the show continue. Mind you, and I have it paused right here for a particular reason through the spirit. Because if you know who our natural enemy is on this earth, though we supposed to be peaceable amongst all men, this is very detrimental. This actually goes to show what is behind the scenes. But hey, let him that has ears, let him hear. Him that has ears, let him hear. You know what it is.
Queens. President Trump tweeted, "First vaccine administered. Congratulations."
Now, that was yesterday. Trump tweeted that literally. Oh, I ain't about to bring that up. Trump tweeted that yesterday. Because it's the 15th, that's the 14th. First vaccination administered. Congratulations, USA. Congratulations, world. Honestly, I wouldn't even be surprised if Trump was an Amalekite. But we ain't about to go there.
USA, congratulations, world. The Food and Drug Administration approved the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccination Friday under emergency authorization, as the COVID-19 death toll in the U.S. reached nearly 300,000, with some of the highest death rates since the pandemic began, and a steady surge in new cases nationwide. Cargo planes and trucks packed with nearly 3 million doses of the vaccine have been deployed throughout the country, with hospitals in all 50 states gearing up injection sites. High-risk healthcare workers will receive the first shots, though the limited delivery is not nearly enough to cover all the doctors, nurses, and other frontline workers who require vaccination, nor the high-risk groups of people, such as the elderly and infirm throughout the country. The Trump administration balked on buying an additional 100 million doses of the Pfizer vaccine this past summer, on top of the initial contract for 100 million, as vaccine testing continued, though Pfizer now reports it's negotiating with the administration to provide another 100 million doses next year. Even if enough shots were available, though, there are new concerns about state data sharing possibly scaring people away from being vaccinated, fearing their personal information will be leaked publicly. Some of the latest polls show many Americans remain wary about getting the shots. Top health officials, however, are warning people not to let their guard down, saying without any more substantial mitigation efforts to stop the spread of the virus, the outlook for 2021 may look even darker than what the country has seen so far.
And the reason why it's going to look darker than what the country has seen thus far, because, like I said, 2020 was a year of clarity. The whole world got shook. If you put it into perspective, that's unarguable. The whole world, the entire planet of Earth, or whatever it's supposed to be called in the Lashawan Kodash, has been shook to its very core. 2021 is only going to bring out is about to bring out a bigger, I don't want to say degree because that actually would be backwards. It's only going to heighten the darkness that is amongst the world, you know. So Adawan Ratazah, you know, hey, Adawan Ratazah, the elect already, you know, the things that are about to unfold in the upcoming year. Because I honestly, shoot, not to say that we know when the Lord is going to come per se, or what year, what time, or what hour, but we know that the hour is getting nigher and nigher, and the world is getting darker and darker. And as the world gets darker, hey, the light shall shine. So, I don't want Ratazah. This was an edifying lesson. If it be so, reach the ear of the elect, that be nourishing food unto the flock. With that, I want to say, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Call Allah, Yum La Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Chakadash. Double honors, much love and respect to those and apostles that rule well over all the Yashar Allah, and we know what they be. Blessings and salutations to you, Akim, laboring in this ministry in truth and sincerity, but much love and faith, as well as to you, Akwafim, and children of Yashar Allah, found that the spirit and guidance of Yahweh, while Yahweh Shai. And with that, I want to say, Abba Bakam, stay in wisdom, Abba Babal, and Shalom.